1200 RPMs. Now, if I remember, they didn't have the paperwork for the vintage air systems, but all the vintage air systems I put in the past, I think they said 1200 RPMs, and you could go down as low as 12 PSI. But this one is not going down to 12 PSI like I'm used to. This is different. You can see I got 46 degrees at the suction line coming back to the compressor. I got 146 degrees, the temperature of the discharge line off of the compressor. So the superheat means absolutely nothing. Don't look at that, because I'm not taking the temperature of a liquid line. I'm taking the temperature of the suction line. So our pressures, I'm snapshotting. Okay, so these fans are on a pressure transducer, and the pressure switch on this, on the high side line, turns on the fans at 180 or 190 PSI. Then it allows the fan is running right now. When it gets down to about 190 or 180 PSI, the fans turn off. And so the fans are constantly loping up and down, up and down, up and down like that. Okay, so now we're getting colder inside. I know, we dropped down, we're down to 21. Little bit. What is our inside? We're 46 degrees out of the dash. I have the other temperature sensor where it says 65. It's all the way in the back rear deck of the vehicle. So I'm taking the internal cabin temperature with the second temperature probe all the way back by the speakers on the rear glass at the rear hatch. That is this 65 degrees. Usually I see this a little lower on these vintage air units. This is not the greatest, but remember, the condenser is upside down. We're probably feeding flash gas while it goes to a receiver dryer, but it's getting a lot of flash gas because they mounted the condenser upside down and they're feeding the big hose. I can't remember how he'd explained it, but it's wrong, okay? So we are not seeing a perfect working condition here because we have a smaller condenser that is installed upside down. All right, that's about all I want to see. And I'm going to data record the temperatures for them. There's nothing I can do. I can't make this system any better because it's a smaller condenser and installed upside down, putting flash gas into the receiver dryer. It's not, and the receiver is supposed to separate that out, but I bet you it's not doing the greatest job. But it is what it is. They installed it and he told me to put it in and do it this way, and so I filled it up. It's working, and that's all I can do. At least I'm not seeing like 200 degrees temperature coming out of the compressor, and I see I'm getting some nice cool temperature delivered back to the compressor. So I know the case of the compressor is cool. When I put my hand up here, this is below room temperature. This is nice and cool. Even when I put my hand over here at the discharge side by the discharge line on the case, it's cool. So I know I have a cool flow of refrigerant coming back, trying to protect my compressor, even though they have too small of a condenser that is installed backwards and upside down. All right, guys, we're finished with this one. We're gonna call it a success story. I'm gonna go grab my refrigerant leak detector and look for leaks. And that's it for today. See you guys.